Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. Just heading out of Indian River and headed towards Yellow Creek, where we will start going south. Just going to stop at a marina, do a pump out and fill up with diesel, and find another anchorage for tonight. And we are expecting some weather tomorrow, some rain and some winds, not very windy, but enough that we want to make sure we're anchored in the right spot. So I am doing a little baking today while we have some sun, making some scones, one of Malcolm's recipes, and we'll have that as we are anchored tomorrow. Hope you're having a great day. Hello.
Hello.
We are headed to Safe Aqua Harbor Marina, just along the beginning of the, I think it's called Yellow Creek, or
Yes.
Yellow River. I think it's Yellow Creek, actually,
Yellow
which
Creek,
is
yeah.
part of the waterway down towards Mobile. So we're going to leave Pickwick Lake and head down there. Not going to go very far today, going to anchor again, but stopping at the harbor marina to top up our diesel and to empty our black water tank.
Well, and one extra thing, and part of our daily engine inspections. So as you know, every day before we start, we always do our inspections. One of those things we do is checking pipes, just to see if there's any cracks or it looks like wear.
In the engine room.
And what we have seen today is we just noticed the beginnings of cracks on one of our water pipes. So we've phoned ahead. They do have what we're looking for, and it's relatively quick fix. But if it goes wrong, it's a big problem. So having this fixed, we're trying to look at all the preventative things that need to get done on a regular basis, not only to maintain the vessel, but also to ensure when we get to the Gulf, there's nothing that's going to surprise us, at least nothing that we haven't tried to think ahead for.
Nothing catastrophic that we can control, at least.
Yeah, so we're doing all these little things now, just doing that detailed inspection. We're always obviously checking our oil, our fan belts. We're checking, coolant levels. We're checking bilge pumps. But I think it always makes sense to check your hoses, make sure that they're as equally as intact and have life left in them, because the last thing you need, no matter where you are, is to have a hose failure and then all of a sudden your engine may be fine, but your boat's without power.
Good checking, Captain.
Yeah, certainly we are, because we only have one engine.
That's true.
So so that's done. We'll pick that up. We'll make that swap out tonight, and then I think we've decided that we're going to start making our way slowly down south. I think we're right on schedule for getting down to the coast.
And going at a nice, easy pace, not rushed.
Yeah. So it won't be like Lake Michigan, where I think we both felt a little bit rushed. it'll be a little bit more relaxed,
Yeah.
and we'll enjoy the scenery as we go.
I'm going to show you our charts here. It's kind of funny coming out of this bay. We're doing a big we're all doing these turns and it doesn't look like we need to, but there are definitely some shallow areas. So I'm going to show you that now. Stopped at Safe Harbor Aqua Yacht Club, a marina here just off Pickwick Lake, and Malcolm noticed this morning that our intake water pipe to the engine was a bit cracked, so he was worried about it and called them up and they had a part. So we went in there to get fuel, pump out, and this part. And because we were on the fuel dock, we were kind of taking room from other boats, so they had us move to another slip closer to where the store was for the part. So we actually changed it while in the slip, talked to a whole bunch of loopers there. It's kind of fun. And you got the part changed.
Yeah, so shout out
Good job.
to Safe Harbor Aqua. They had what we needed, and I figured let's change it while we're tied to a dock. If there's a problem, there's a full service marine there, and they could help us out if we needed it. But as it turns out, you know, us loopers, we're always looking to save a penny, so we got the part, but we saved on the labor.
Yeah.
And so we've got ourselves a new hose. One less hose to worry about, and it's one that would kind of sneak up on you. It's actually to the mixing elbow of the exhaust, so it was good to get done. You'll, I don't know if you sleep better at night, but you certainly feel better when you're actually moving the boat. So one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, so good job.
Yeah.
Now off to our anchorage.
Before the sun, well, I guess the sun has set.
The sun
officially.
is actually setting, and we'll make it there in probably 5 or 10 minutes.
But I still refuse to accept it because I have my sunglasses on. So,
he always wears his sunglasses at night too.
So we'll anchor, and then the sunglasses come on.
Yeah, you're still cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We've arrived at our destination for today. We didn't go very far at all, only I think 9 nautical miles. So we left Indian River, came up towards Grand Harbor and another marina called Safe Harbor Aqua Yacht, I believe it's called. So we stopped in there to get some diesel and a pump out and a part that we explained earlier. And we had the hot water tank heating up today using our solar power. So as soon as we anchored, the sun really had already set and we were kind of tired a little bit, even though we'd gone such a short way, but we had actually changed that part. So we had done some work. And so we decided to have a shower. So I've just had a shower. Malcolm's in there now and I'm going to make some dinner. Wow, listen to that wind. Boats are swinging around in this bay. Very gusty. We tied up our flags so they don't get ripped. But we're really swinging around a lot right now. It's very gusty here now. We woke up this morning around 4 o'clock to very gusty winds, but clear skies. And the forecast was for heavy rain around, I think, 8 o'clock for about 3 hours. And that did happen. I think it might have started a little bit sooner than 8 o'clock, but we had heavy rain. It wasn't as heavy as, wasn't flooding anything, but we had a lot of rain, but the wind died down while it rained. And now that the rain has sort of subsiding a little bit, it's got very gusty again as the system moves on. So I just came up to the flybridge to have a look at the boats, and we're all swinging side to side as the wind goes through. Good thing our anchors are holding. But I tied up our flags so that they didn't flap and get all ripped, and I'll untie them before we leave tomorrow. But I'm glad we're in one place, and I can understand why some people would want to be tied up to a dock on a day like today. Good morning from Zippy Branch near Pickwick Lake. This is a really cool name for our little bay that we stayed in, and it was a good one to be protected from the south and southeast winds during a bit of a rainstorm yesterday. And we did get some pretty gusty winds just before the system came in, and again as the system left. It was kind of interesting the way that worked out. But the anchor held no problem. The 3 boats that were in here were kind of swinging around on their anchor a little bit just for a couple of hours on either end of the storm. But all held, all is good, and this morning it's very calm. You can hear the birds in the background. And we're just preparing to leave now to begin down Yellow Creek, which is part of the Tenn-Tom Waterway, which is actually the Tennessee-Tombigbee Waterway. That one connects the Tennessee River to the Tombigbee River, and it's just called Tenn-Tom for short. So we're going down there. There's several locks to go through. The first leg, we will be stopping before the first lock and anchoring. There's a lot of great anchorages there. And then heading through the locks starting probably tomorrow. Hope you're having a great day. Time to take the anchor up, and I'm going to first take the bridle off. Anchor is full of mud. Just moving it to get some of the mud off, and I'll have to use a hook to get it off. We're just passing Safe Harbor Aqua Marina over there and heading south, turning down a channel on the Yellow Creek on the Tenn-Tom Waterway. The rock formations are very interesting here. Malcolm was saying it looks like it would be an ocean bed once upon a time. It's really neat to see the layers of rock there. The waterway that joins the Tennessee River to the Tombigbee River is called the Tennessee-Tombigbee Waterway, or the Tenn-Tom for short. It is 234 miles long and opened in 1985. It passes towns like Aberdeen and Columbus. It starts at Pickwick Lake and then narrows to Yellow Creek, which opens to Bay Springs Lake, where we meet the first of 10 locks. Had a bit of rain on this trip, so I took the starboard and center covers off the front windows in preparation for moving downstairs. So far Malcolm's still staying upstairs and can see through the plastic windows up there, but it'll be clear to come down here. So it's all ready in case the rain gets heavier. But hopefully it's just a little rain cloud and it'll pass soon. It did have it in the forecast. I think it said 60% chance of rain, so I guess we got our 60% chance. Anyway, they do need the rain down here, so it's not a bad thing. And we do have raincoats, so no worries. We've arrived at our destination today, just at the top of the Bay Springs Lock. I think it's called the Whitten Lock, actually, on the Tenn-Tom River. And it took us 5 times to get our anchor held this time, which was really frustrating because it's raining at the same time. Anyway, I guess we had a bit of a reward when we got here because we saw a turtle swimming around. And there's 2 other Canadian boats in this bay, so we're in good company. There was another bay or another boat as well. So just 4 of us here for the moment until maybe some other boats arrive a bit later. It's midday, so still early in the day yet. So I'm standing on a step. That's why I look taller than Malcolm. Anyway, we're just talking about how many times it took to set our anchor, and it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and it
Back
was,
and forth.
and unfortunately, the admiral, who's the chief in it, of all things, was getting wet.
Well, I had a raincoat. It wasn't that bad. I was just getting frustrated that it wasn't working. I thought I was doing it wrong, but anyway, we put the anchor down. Malcolm always tells me the depth. I put it down to approximately that depth, and then he backs up, and I lay the chain out, and hopefully the hook goes into the mud. And it didn't. Every time it kept skipping and skipping. I bring it up. There's a bit of mud on it, but really nothing. And we did that 3 times in one location. And then we came into this bay a little bit closer in, not knowing exactly the depth and a bit worried about the swing room. And tried it there. It failed once. And then we got it the second time. I put out tons and tons of chain this time. And then Malcolm back down on it, and it worked a bit better. So I don't know.
The only thing we have to worry about here is swing room, because we're pretty close to the shore. I can already see the seabed, if you like, underneath there. But the hook's good, so it's really set. We're not moving anywhere. The funny thing is, there's not going to be any wind anyway, So it's not as though we're going to be rocking and rolling, not like last night or the night before.
With our little rainstorm,
50 mile an hour winds. But even so, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you put it down and you get it first time. Sometimes it's 5 times. So at least we got it.
Yeah, we got it. So anyway.
And the other good news is we put our name basically on the list for the lock, because when he called us, he saw us coming and he called us and said, do you want to go through? So I gave him our boat name and the 2 other boat names, and he said, all right, I put you on the list. You'll be going through first thing in the morning. So, and when I asked him when first thing in the morning was, he says, well, we're open 24/7, so whenever you like.
Whenever you're up.
So, and I think we'll be up when the sun comes up.
And
first light at dark.
Will be earlier because of the time change now. Yeah, beginning of November, we've now just changed the clocks.
Well, it won't be earlier than when the sun comes up.
No, but what I mean is the time is earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, we'll get this rain out of the system so we can enjoy a little bit more sun. But even so, we know we need to get south. The temperatures in a week are going to be reminiscent of Canada temperatures.
Kind of plummeting for a little bit.
There's negatives in the lows. I didn't think they had negatives down here, but we can handle it, but we want to see if we can get under it so that we can actually avoid these colds.
And it's just not as much fun on a boat.
It's not. You got to run heaters.
It's not like you're in a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll make every effort to get into the warm weather before the cold hits here.
Yeah, weather's doing weird things all over the world, so you know it is what it is.
Yep. But you do what you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.